Felt like at times our late game execution was good, and I consider most of the latter half of the fourth quarter because it was a tight ball game. We're still not recognizing our mismatches. I felt like AB had plenty of opportunities. We could have gotten her touches. It's disappointing, that it doesn't go both ways, or it hasn't gone both ways. But we also can't allow that to consume us, right? Like, we've got to be able to play through that. We had some turnovers, key turnovers. We settled at times. We fought, but we can't dig ourselves a hole from the beginning.
Imagine losing a game where every controversial call feels like it's against your team. That's exactly what happened when the Indiana Fever faced the Liberty. Did the refs really rig it? Stephanie White thinks so, and her powerful post-game statement is sending shockwaves through the league. And wait till you hear the numbers. A 31-point free throw gap? How did this even happen? We're breaking down the calls that changed everything. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Ever felt like the refs forgot which team they were officiating for? That's how Indiana Fever fans felt the entire game against the New York Liberty.
I thought she got fouled. I think it's pretty egregious what's been happening to us the last few games. A minus 31 free throw discrepancy. And I might be able to understand it if we were just chucking threes. Like, we've got to be able to play through that. We've got to be able to control the things that we can control. We're attacking the rim. And the disrespect right now for our team has been pretty unbelievable. So it's disappointing, that it doesn't go both ways, or it hasn't gone both ways.
Right from the first quarter, calls started going sideways, and everything felt off. The Fever came in ready to fight, but play after play, the whistles seemed to work against them. Players, fans, even people watching at home couldn't believe what they were seeing. The turning point came early on. Lexi Hull made what looked like a textbook defensive play. She went up for the block, clean, all ball. But the ref didn't see it that way. The whistle blew for a foul, sending the Liberty to the free throw line.
Yeah, Caitlyn talked a lot about, the defense kind of being iffy, especially in the fourth quarter when you guys were up 12 and then Liberty went on a 16-2 run. Just what did you see during the Liberty's run that kind of you can take to fix?
You get caught in this, it's going to be a tight game. You want to keep them for the end of the game. But I should have used one sooner. And we have to do a better job collectively of understanding that individually we don't have to make the play that stops the run. The best transition defense is offensive execution, right? And we had a couple of turnovers and a couple poor shots that led to runouts and led to runs. And I have to do a better job of using my timeout sooner.
And just like that, the tempo shifted. That one call, it seemed to drain the energy right out of the Fever. But it didn't stop there. Let's talk about Caitlyn Clark. She's known for her aggressive drives to the basket. Late in the second quarter, she bolted past her defender, made a move toward the rim, until she was grabbed mid-air. Her arm got hacked, plain as day, but there was no whistle. The play continued like nothing happened. Neutral fans online were quick to react, flooding social media with posts like, "How do the refs just ignore that?" It was one of those moments that made you do a double take. Really? But here's where things go from bad to absurd.
Steph, when watching Caitlyn, when she has a little bit of a mini slump for her with three-pointers, are there things you see or even talk to her about it, or you just sort of know she's going to shoot her way out of that?
We got to move her around a little bit more. I mean, she plays pretty much above the break all the time. And sometimes that's easy to predetermine how they're going to play certain actions. Well, I think she's going to find her way out of it. Now, we've got to get her easier ones. The ones where she's having to, dribble 5 or 6 times and create a shot. So we got to move her around a little bit more in different actions. We'll have a couple of days to get some work in practice, and we'll use that as an opportunity to look at some of those things.
Dana Bonner, right in the fourth quarter, powers straight to the hoop. The defender comes across her, clearly makes contact. No call. No free throws, nothing. And yet on the other end, the Liberty kept racking up trips to the line, 32 times. For comparison, the Fever barely got a shot at a free throw. After the game, Stephanie White wasn't holding back. Calling the officiating egregious, she pointed out how the free throw disparity, 31 points, was impossible to ignore. Was it bad calls or something more? Fever fans weren't just frustrated, they were furious. And honestly, can you blame them? But this problem isn't just about one game, it's bigger than that. Let's dig into what this means for the WNBA as a whole. A 31-point free throw gap? That's not just bad refereeing, it's a crisis waiting to explode. The WNBA wants to grow its audience, but this type of officiating is the fastest way to drive fans away. It's not just passionate Fever supporters who are complaining. Neutral voices, including analysts and even other players, are raising eyebrows. The integrity of the entire league is at risk here, and it's not the first time something like this has happened. Remember last year's WNBA Finals? People were furious then too. The Liberty and Aces matchup was full of questionable calls, and fans were quick to ask whether the refs were controlling the outcome. Controversies like that don't just go away. They stick and keep coming back. A year later, nothing seems to have changed. Here we are again. Another big game, another round of missed calls, and the same criticism. If fans can't trust the refs, how can they trust the results? And it's not just any random players being impacted. It's stars like Caitlyn Clark. She's supposed to be one of the faces of the league, and yet, even she's not getting the calls that other stars in big leagues expect. In this game alone, there was that drive where her arm was grabbed, and the foul was as obvious as it could get. But the officials? Silent. Afterward, Clark kept her response short. She said, "My arm was getting grabbed, but whatever." Really? That whatever kind of summarizes how hopeless players must feel when no one's listening. And the fans? Social media completely erupted. The hashtag #RiggedGame wasn't just trending, it was everywhere. Clips of missed calls and breakdowns of the stats were flooding feeds, showing how lopsided the officiating was. Fans said the refs weren't just bad, they were biased. That's a dangerous accusation for any league to face. If people start feeling like the games aren't fair, the league's credibility crumbles. This isn't just about one team anymore. This is about the WNBA saving its reputation. Can they fix it in time, or is the damage already too far gone? The Fever Liberty game didn't just highlight bad refereeing. It put a spotlight on the league's biggest problem: consistency. When players like Caitlyn Clark can openly say, "My arm was getting grabbed, but whatever," it's hard to ignore the cracks in the system. Officiating is supposed to be the foundation of fair competition, but right now, it's shaking trust in the league. Fans are watching, and they're not staying quiet. If the WNBA wants to grow, it needs answers now. This isn't just about fixing bad calls. It's about restoring credibility. So, what do you think? Can the league fix it?